Welcome to Clear Creek Art. We are doing clay this week. Remember last week we did our figure drawing, and today we're working on doing some figures in clay. It doesn't have to be a human figure. It could be an animal or a made-up creature or an alien, anything. So basically you're doing a figure, so you're going to need some clay. If you don't want to go buy clay, you can certainly have tons of recipes to make clay. I'll include, a dough clay that you could use. But there's Model Magic packs that you can get. There's Play-Doh. Pretty much anything goes for this one. If you do want school clay, you'll have to email me and I'll arrange to put some in a baggie for you and you can come pick it up in the office. But otherwise, you're going to need some kind of dough or clay, and we're going to be making some kind of figure. Now, so pretend I wanted to make a pug. I know, big shocker, right? And I was doing my big fat pug body, okay? Now anything bigger than my fist is probably gonna need to be hollowed out a little bit if we're actually going to fire it in the kiln. Otherwise, it might blow up. But in your case, it really probably doesn't matter if you're not firing it in the kiln. All right, so we got my pug body, and if I wanted to add a leg to it, and I was rolling out a leg. Now, if I just stick this leg on there, it's not gonna stay. We've talked about clay shrinking about 14% when it dries, so this leg would just fall off. We've talked about every year about how we use the fork to do scoring. So we rough up the surface that we're attaching and what we're attaching it to. And we use a spritz of water, okay? And we twist it on. And we're not done at that point. We use the back of a spoon. You can use your finger, but I like the spoon because it gets in little crevices that we can't get. And we smear down and out to get all the way around it. And we use a spritz of water on our finger and we smear it in. And we're trying to make it look like it's always been there, it's always been attached, it's never been a separate piece of clay before. Then we do the upside down wiggle it test to make sure it's actually gonna stay on, okay? So what if I didn't want to attach stuff and I just wanted to kind of like grow a leg out of there? I'd start with a bigger body and then I do the pinch and turn, pinch and turn, pinch and turn, very slow and gentle, and I can start growing out a leg. So this is like my pug upside down, and here's the second leg. So that's one way to do it. Now pretend this wasn't a leg. Pretend this was an ear that I just tried to come out of his head, and I could just fold it over to make a little puggy ear. You get the idea? So we have lots of options, but if you're gonna attach stuff, you definitely need to use that fork and spoon, okay? Another thing I have is a pointy stick. That's good for texture, but of course the very last thing you're gonna need to do is write your name and teacher on it if it's clay and you're bringing it to me. Otherwise it won't matter. But I also have other household things like a comb, a marker lid. If you roll things over it, like, it might give some texture. You can see that. Another kind of lid might give you circles, okay? And maybe that's a texture you would want, okay? Any buttons? Buttons are good. This is just an old button, and that makes an interesting texture depending on the button, all right? I don't even know what this is from, but it makes a cool texture. And so does this. And so does this side. Ooh, interesting. All right, so basically you're using your clay or your dough and you're making a figure today. Does not have to be a human figure, does not have to be completely accurate and real. We're just gonna go try for a figure. Could be a completely made up creature or a fantasy creature that you do know of. Anyway, have fun with it. Take a picture or a video of it and send it to me on your Seesaw or on, let's see, if you have Google Classroom, you can send it on that too. So have a great day.